Sam sat in the control chair of the outpost, watching the same empty stars he had watched for many nights. The outpost was small, just a ring of metal clinging to a barren moon. Its purpose was simple: listen for signals from deep space and report anything unusual back to Earth. Most nights were quiet, and Sam often felt like the only human in the universe. The silence of space could be comforting at times, but it could also be heavy. He had a routine. Wake up, check the long-range sensors, record any bursts of radio waves, and then spend hours waiting. His only company was the hum of the life support system and the soft glow of the monitors. He sometimes played old recordings, from Earth, music, or speeches, just to remind himself that people were still out there. On this particular night, something changed. The outpost's docking alarm rang. It was a sharp sound, one he had almost forgotten. Sam rushed to the console. A small vessel had appeared on the scanner. No clearance request, no identification code. It was simply there, slowing down, approaching the docking bay. Sam's first thought was that it must be a mistake. This was a restricted station. Random ships did not just arrive. He reached for the comms, ready to demand identification, when the incoming request lit up on the screen. The message was short. "Requesting to stay one night. Emergency." Sam frowned. He should have denied it at once. Regulations were clear: no unauthorized docking. But the voice in the message was calm, almost pleading. Something about it made him hesitate. He waited as the ship gently latched onto the docking arm. Airlocks connected. Warning lights faded. The inner door slid open, and a figure stepped inside. It was a woman, dressed in a dark travel suit, carrying only a small pack. Her hair was tied back, and her face looked tired, as though she had been traveling far too long. She stood still for a moment, then spoke in a quiet tone. "My name is Lyra. I only need to stay one night. My ship requires more power before I can leave." Sam studied her. Strangers were rare out here. He could not sense danger from her, but he knew better than to trust quickly. "You are not cleared for this station," he said. "You should know that." "I know," Lyra replied. Her eyes did not leave his. "But I had no other choice. Please, one night. I will leave as soon as my ship is ready." Sam felt the weight of the rules pressing against his thoughts. He should call command, report the arrival, and wait for orders. But command was many hours away by signal. By the time they answered, the situation could change. Besides, there was something unusual about Lyra. She looked worn, but there was strength in her eyes. Against his better judgment, Sam stepped aside. "All right, one night. But you stay close. No wandering?" Lyra nodded, grateful, but still watchful. She placed her pack down and sat in the small rest chamber near the main console. Sam returned to his seat, but kept an eye on her. He noticed the way she looked out the viewport. Most guests would marvel at the endless stars, but she did not. Instead, she studied them carefully, as though she was searching for a familiar sign among the distant lights. Hours passed. Sam tried to focus on his work, but curiosity pulled at him. Who was she? Why had she come here, of all places? The outpost was not on common routes. Travelers did not simply stop here for rest. Finally, he spoke. "Where are you coming from?" Lyra turned slowly, her voice even. "Farther than you expect?" "That is not an answer." "It is the only answer I can give right now," she said. Sam did not press her. He could sense she was holding back more than simple travel details. Still, she was calm and did not act like someone hiding crime or violence. She seemed more like someone carrying a burden too heavy to explain. Later, when Sam checked the energy flow to her ship, he noticed something odd. The vessel was patched together, old and worn, but its core engine was far more advanced than anything he had seen in human ships. It pulsed with a rhythm he did not recognize. "Where did you get this engine?" he asked. Lyra walked over, glancing at the console. It is not important. What matters is that it works, and that I can leave once it has strength again. Sam's mind raced. If Command knew about this, they would demand answers. Advanced technology in a civilian vessel? That could change everything. But Lyra showed no fear of his questions. She only looked tired, as though the conversation itself was a burden. The night stretched on. Sam caught himself watching her more than once. She did not sleep, only sat quietly, eyes always on the viewport. It was as if she feared something in the stars might notice her if she looked away. Sam felt uneasy. She had asked for one night, but he wondered if that would be enough. Something told him that her story was not simple, and her presence at the outpost was not an accident. As the station rotated slowly above the barren moon, Sam wrote his daily report to Command. He hesitated before typing the final section. He did not mention Lyra's arrival. He told himself it was only for now, only to avoid delays. Tomorrow, she would be gone, and the outpost would be quiet again. But as he glanced at her one more time, sitting in silence with her sharp eyes fixed on the stars, he wondered if the quiet would ever return. The next morning on the outpost was no different from the night before. The stars remained still. The screens showed the same endless patterns of deep space noise, and the hum of the life support system continued like a steady heartbeat. Yet, for Sam, everything felt different. Lyra was still there. He had expected her to recharge her ship and prepare to leave, but when he checked the docking bay, the vessel was still connected. The energy levels showed that it had taken more power than she claimed. Its systems were still drawing from the outpost. Sam found Lyra standing at the viewport again. Her eyes moved across the stars with a strange intensity. She was not simply admiring them. She was searching, scanning, as if she could read hidden words in their placement. "I thought you said one night," Sam said. His voice was calm, but firm. "Yes," Lyra replied, not turning away from the stars. "But the ship needs a little more time. The recharge was slower than I expected." Sam crossed his arms. "You will have to explain better than that. Power here is limited. I cannot keep giving it to you without reason." Finally, Lyra faced him. Her expression was steady, though her eyes carried the weight of something unspoken. "I understand, but I cannot leave yet. If I try now, the ship will fail in open space. You do not want to find a dead vessel floating near your station." Her words were logical, but they did not calm his doubts. There was more to her presence, more than she was admitting. Sam returned to the console, deciding to test her. He pulled up the sensor logs and began to review them out loud. These are deep space arrays. They capture random bursts, energy readings, cosmic rays. Most of the time, the data looks like this. He tapped the screen, showing the messy waves of background noise. Then he pulled up the newest readings. Strange repeating signals flickered across the display. "This appeared last night just after you docked," he said. "Unusual, isn't it?" Lyra walked closer, her eyes narrowing at the patterns. She did not ask what they were. Instead, she whispered, "They are already searching." Sam froze. "You know what this is?" Lyra realized what she had said and quickly stepped back. "It is nothing, just interference." But Sam had caught the slip. "You recognized it. These signals are not interference. You know where they come from." Silence stretched between them. Lyra looked away, as though the answer itself was dangerous. Sam felt a chill. For years he had listened to the stars, recording meaningless noise. Now a stranger arrived, and suddenly the noise was not meaningless. "Who are you really?" Sam asked. Lyra finally spoke, her voice low but clear. "I cannot tell you everything. Not yet. But you must believe me when I say those signals are not random. They are a search pattern. They are looking for me." Sam felt his chest tighten. "Looking for you?" Who is? Her gaze was steady again, though her words carried quiet fear. Not humans. Not your command. Others. Sam leaned back in his chair. He wanted to demand more, but her tone told him she would not reveal more. At least not now. He looked at the signals again. Repeating waves, regular and sharp. Not natural. They had structure. Then why come here? He asked. Why bring them to this station? I did not want to, Lyra said. I hoped to leave before they reached this region, but my ship could not keep moving. I needed time. I thought I could stay one night, hide my trail, and move on. She paused, her voice soft. But I stayed too long. Sam stared at her. If what she said was true, then danger was coming straight to the outpost. Yet part of him doubted. Was this a story to cover her actions, or the truth hidden behind tired eyes? He did not know, but he could not ignore the signals. Later, while reviewing her ship again, Sam noticed more details. The controls were not standard. Some panels looked human-made, others did not. Symbols he did not recognize glowed faintly on the engine core. He realized this was no ordinary traveler. That evening, as the outpost circled the moon once more, Lyra returned to the viewport. Sam joined her, standing side by side in silence for a moment. You keep looking at the stars, Sam said. What are you searching for? Lyra's voice was distant, almost a whisper. I look to see how close they are. Once you have seen their ships among the stars, you can never stop searching. Sam felt the weight of her words. She spoke with the certainty of someone who had lived through something he could not imagine. He wanted to ask more, but before he could, the console alarm rang. The repeating signals had grown stronger. The pattern was sharper now, more precise, as if the sender was narrowing in. Sam rushed to the console. They are closing in, he said. Lyra stood behind him, her face pale but calm. I told you, they are searching. Sam clenched his fists. This was his station, his responsibility. He could not let unknown forces approach without reporting. Yet he hesitated. If he sent a full alert to command, it would reveal Lyra's presence, and she clearly feared that. He looked at her. She seemed ready for him to decide, almost as if she expected him to hand her over. But something inside Sam pushed against that thought. He did not know why, but he felt that if he betrayed her, he would regret it forever. Instead, he closed the alert message and returned to the sensors. If they are looking for you, then we need to know how far they are. Lyra blinked, surprised by his choice. Slowly, she nodded. Yes, I can help you read the signals. I know their patterns better than you. Sam felt his stomach tighten. She had just admitted she knew far more than she had claimed. Yet he allowed it. Together they leaned over the console, studying the waves. Lyra traced the rhythm with her finger, pointing out shifts that Sam would never have noticed. They are scanning wide, then narrowing. It means they suspect I am here. They will not stop until they confirm. Sam swallowed. The outpost, suddenly, felt smaller, weaker, like a fragile shell in the dark. He realized his life had changed the moment Lyra stepped through the airlock. One night had already stretched into two, and now danger was on its way. The outpost was never meant to feel alive, yet now it throbbed with tension. The quiet hum of the walls no longer felt ordinary. Every sound seemed sharper. Every flicker of light carried weight. Sam sat at the console, watching the sensors with a tight jaw. The signals were stronger now, pulsing like footsteps across the void. Lyra stood near the viewport again. She barely moved, her body still, but her eyes sharp as they swept across the endless sky. Sam noticed her hands were clenched, though she tried to hide it. She had said they were searching. Now he believed her. The monitor gave a sudden, sharp tone. Sam jumped, then stared at the screen. A burst of energy, stronger than before, had crossed the scanner. Not natural, not random. The pattern was precise. A pulse repeated 3 times. Sam leaned closer. They are closer. This one almost broke through the filters. Lyra came to his side. She looked at the waves with a face that was unreadable. It is a probe. They throw them across space to... Listen, once a probe hears a reflection, the hunters follow. Sam turned his head toward her. Hunters? Yes, she said quietly. They do not come to talk. They come to claim what they believe is theirs. Her words cut through him. He wanted to dismiss them, but the signals gave her truth weight. He had spent years listening to the stars, always searching for meaning in the static. Now the meaning was here, and it was not a friendly one. Sam rubbed his face with his hand. If they are sending probes, we cannot stay silent. Command must know. Lyra shook her head firmly. If you send a full report now, they will trace it. The probes are listening. A strong signal from here will act like a beacon. They will know exactly where we are. Sam froze. He had not thought of that. The outpost transmitters were powerful enough to reach Earth, but if hostile probes were already in the system, they could lock on at once. His duty screamed for him to call command, but logic told him she was right. He looked at her again. Then what do we do? Sit here and wait for them to arrive? Lyra's lips pressed into a thin line. We must stay quiet. Delay them as long as possible. If they think I passed through this system, they might move on. Sam did not like the word delay. It sounded like surrender. But he could not deny the truth. If they were as powerful as she said, the small outpost had little chance in direct fight. The hours dragged slowly. Sam tried to distract himself with routine checks, but the disturbance continued to grow. The Bawad signals came closer, more exact. At times, the sensors flickered with strange static, as if something unseen brushed against them. By the 3rd hour, Sam noticed something unusual. The signals are shifting, he said. See here? They are, bending the waves around the moon. Lyra's face grew pale. Then their main vessel is near. They are not probing anymore. They are looking directly. Sam's heart pounded. He checked the long-range scanner again. For a moment, he saw nothing, just empty stars. Then, in the corner of the display, a faint shape flickered, a shadow moving where no star should be moving. His breath caught. There. Did you see that? Lyra leaned close. Her voice was firm, without hesitation. That is not a shadow. That is them. Sam swallowed hard. The image was faint, like a ghost, but the scanners confirmed mass. Something enormous was out there, sliding through the dark. He pushed back from the console. I need answers, Lyra. If you want me to risk my life, risk this station, you must tell me what they want. Why are they after you? Lyra stood silent for a long moment. Then she spoke, each word carrying weight. I stole from them knowledge, maps, power they would never share. If they catch me, they will take it back and destroy anything in their way. That includes this station. Sam's stomach dropped. You brought this here. Her eyes met his. There was no denial, only a tired honesty. Yes, I brought danger, here. But I also brought hope. What I carry could change the fate of your people. That is why I cannot let them have it. Sam turned away, pacing across the small chamber. He felt the walls closing in. He wanted to throw her out, push her back into her ship, and let her danger drift into space. But deep inside, another voice fought against that idea. She had chosen his station, his outpost, not by accident. And if what she said was true, humanity was already part of this, whether he liked it or not. The alarms rang again. This time, they were not soft warnings. The station shook slightly as if brushed by invisible pressure. The main monitor flashed. Red Sam ran to the console. "They are scanning the outpost directly." The walls groaned under the unseen force. Loose items rattled on the shelves. Lyra braced herself, her face calm despite the trembling metal around them. "They know someone is here," she said. "But they do not yet know it is me. That gives us time." Sam gritted his teeth. "Time for what? To die in silence?" "No," she said. Her eyes burned with quiet fire. "Time to prepare." The outpost had little in the way of defense. A few automated cannons, a handful of emergency charges buried in the asteroid field nearby. Against a ship the size of a mountain, they were like sparks against a storm. Yet Sam could not simply wait for the storm to swallow them. He looked at Lyra. "If they come closer, they will see your ship. They will know." Lyra nodded. "Then we must make them believe I am not here. Hide my vessel, mask its energy. I can do that, but I need access to your core systems." Sam hesitated. Giving her access meant breaking every rule he had ever been trained to follow. But the alternative was worse. Slowly, he stepped aside. "Do it." Lyra moved with focus, her hands gliding across the panels as though she had worked with them for years. She redirected power, altered frequencies, and buried the signature of her ship under the station's own signals. Minutes later, the shaking stopped. The alarms faded. The scanners went quiet, though the shadow of the massive vessel still lingered at the edge of the display. "They are not sure," Lyra whispered. "They are waiting. Testing." Sam leaned back in his chair, his body tense. The disturbance was far from over. The enemy was close, and the outpost was now caught in the middle of a silent war. As the stars outside glowed cold and steady, Sam realized something that chilled him more than the signals. Lyra had asked to stay one night. This was now the third day, and the danger was only growing. The fourth day began with silence, but it was not the quiet Sam had known before Lyra arrived. This silence was heavy, full of waiting. The outpost floated in the orbit of the barren moon, turning slowly, as if pretending to be lifeless. Yet, both Sam and Lyra knew eyes were upon them. Sam barely slept. His mind kept returning to the shadow he had seen on the scanners. It had not gone away. The faint shape remained, drifting like a predator in the dark, just outside clear sight. He sat at the console, his hand tapping restlessly against the edge. Lyra stood nearby, arms folded, her face pale but controlled. "They will not wait forever," she said. "They are patient, but they are not blind. When they decide, they will move." Sam turned sharply. "Then why stay here? Why not take your ship and run while you still can?" Lyra's voice was calm, though her eyes betrayed the truth. "Because if I run, they will chase me. And if they chase me, they will burn everything in their path. Do you want that fire to reach your people?" Sam pressed his lips together. She was right. If these hunters had such power, then leading them toward Earth or any colony would be a disaster. Yet keeping her here felt just as dangerous. The scanners beeped. A new pattern swept across the display, sharper than before. It was not just a probe this time. It was a full scan, aimed directly at the outpost. Sam leaned forward. His stomach tightened. The faint shadow on the display grew clearer, its edges hardening. It was enormous, far larger than any human ship. Its outline spread across the screen like the shape of a great beast, cloaked yet real. "There," Sam whispered. "That is no longer a shadow." The station shuddered as a wave of energy brushed across it. Lights flickered. Lyra braced herself, her hand gripping the metal railing. "They are testing us," she said. "They want to see how we respond," Sam forced his voice to stay steady. "Then we give them nothing. Stay quiet. Stay hidden." Hours passed. The giant vessel lingered at the edge of the system, circling like a predator, refusing to strike too soon. But every cycle it came closer. Sam checked the power logs again. Lyra's ship had taken much of the outpost's reserves. It was nearly full now. But he could see the truth. It was still not ready for long flight. "You said your ship could leave after one night," Sam said sharply. "It has been 4. How much longer?" Lyra lowered her eyes. "The ship is old. Its systems need more than I thought. If I push it too soon, it will tear apart in space." Sam's frustration boiled inside him, but he did not speak it. He turned back to the monitors, his jaw tight. He had always been alone here, following the same routine day after day. Now, everything had changed. His small station was caught in the pull of something far greater than he had imagined. Suddenly, the alarms flared. The giant vessel was moving. Slowly at first, then with clear direction. It was heading toward the moon, toward the outpost. Sam jumped to his feet. "They are coming straight for us!" Lyra's voice was steady. "Then they know. They will not scan again. They will arrive." Sam's training told him what to do. Report to command. Prepare the emergency self-destruct. Deny the enemy the station. But when he looked at Lyra, sitting calm in the glow of the alarms, another choice came to him. "We cannot just wait for them to dock," he said. "If they want you, they will tear the station apart to find you. We need to move first." Lyra shook her head. "You cannot fight them with this station. Your weapons are small, your shields thin. They have crossed stars you have never seen. You do not know their strength." Sam clenched his fists. "Maybe I cannot win, but I will not let them walk in without resistance. If they want to hunt here, they will feel claws too." For the first time, Lyra's calm cracked. She looked at him with surprise, then with a flicker of respect. "You are human. That means you will fight even when hope is thin. That is why I came here." Sam turned to the console. He pulled up the defense grid, rarely touched in all his years at the outpost. Automated cannons lined the asteroid field. Small charges were hidden in the rocks, placed long ago for drills but never used in real battle. They were weak compared to the vessel outside, yet they were all he had. "We can draw them in," Sam said. "Make them believe the station is more dangerous than it is. Lure them close to the asteroid field, then trigger the charges. It might not destroy them, but it will hurt them. Maybe even slow them." Lyra stepped forward. "It will not stop them forever, but it may give us time. And sometimes time is enough." Together they worked quickly. Lyra guided him through adjustments he had never thought of. She moved through the systems with uncanny skill, blending her knowledge with his. Sam noticed again how much she understood, as if she had lived with this technology longer than any human should. Outside, the great vessel grew larger on the display. Its surface shimmered with faint light, shifting like liquid metal. It had no visible markings, no windows, no doors. It looked less like a ship and more like a living shadow. The outpost trembled as the alien vessel released another wave of energy. Lights dimmed, then returned. Systems flickered. Sam felt sweat on his forehead. "They are almost here," he said. Lyra's eyes hardened. "Then we are ready. Let them come." Moments later, the scanners screamed. The vessel was moving fast, now heading directly for the station. The stars behind it vanished under its massive frame. Sam felt the weight of its presence even before it arrived. He gripped the console, his voice low but firm. "They want you, Lyra. But they will find more than they expected." The outpost's cannons powered up. Hidden charges waited in the rocks. For the first time since he had come to this lonely station, Sam felt alive with purpose. The chase had begun. The giant vessel moved closer, filling the scanner screen like a dark mountain drifting through space. Its surface shimmered with patterns of light, as if alive, shifting and breathing in the void. The outpost was small compared to it, no larger, than a drifting speck beside a vast storm. Sam's hands moved quickly across the console, activating every defense the outpost possessed. Old systems blinked awake, some unused for years. The automated cannons hidden across the asteroid field came online, their sensors turning toward the massive ship. Buried charges armed themselves, silent and waiting. Lyra stood at his side, her expression calm, but her voice low and steady. They will not fear these weapons. They have seen greater firepower before. But we must make them believe you are more dangerous than you are. If they hesitate, we gain time. Sam nodded. Then we fight with every trick we have. The station shook as another energy wave passed over it. This time, the lights dimmed longer, and the hum of the systems faltered before returning. The alien ship was probing, testing how much the outpost could endure. "They are measuring us," Sam said. "Yes," Lyra replied. "They want to see if you will break before they step closer." Sam leaned forward. "Then let us show them we will not break." With a sharp command, he fired the first volley. The cannons lit up the void with streaks of fire, bolts of plasma racing across the empty space toward the giant ship. Explosions flared against its surface, flashes of light across its shadowy frame. The vessel trembled slightly, then shifted as if annoyed by insects. Lyra gripped the railing. "Good. You caught their attention. Now hold them." The alien ship turned slowly, revealing more of its massive form. Then a bright glow built along its side. Sam's eyes widened. "They are charging something." A beam of pure energy shot out, sweeping across the asteroid field. Rocks exploded into dust, spinning debris into the void. One cannon was destroyed instantly, its signal vanishing from the console. Sam cursed under his breath, but his hands did not stop moving. He redirected power, commanding the remaining cannons to fire again. More streaks of plasma struck the ship, but the great shadow pushed forward, unharmed by most of the blows. "They are stronger than you thought," Lyra said quietly. "I knew they would be," Sam replied, his jaw tight. "But even strong, things can bleed." With a quick sequence, Sam activated the buried charges. The asteroids lit with hidden fire. Explosions ripped through the field, sending shards of rock against the alien hull. For the first time, the vessel shuddered. A faint crack appeared in its shimmering surface, a wound among the shadows. Lyra's eyes widened. "You hurt them." Sam allowed himself a thin smile. "Good. Now they know we are not soft prey." But the smile faded quickly. The alien vessel roared back, its surface glowing brighter. A second wave of energy surged outward, striking the outpost directly. The walls groaned, lights flickered, and the life support system stuttered. Sam gripped the console tightly as the floor shook beneath his feet. Panels sparked. One screen went dark. Sam forced the systems back online with rapid commands, sweat running down his face. "We cannot take many more of those," he admitted. Lyra steadied herself beside him. "But you made them feel pain. That matters. You showed them that humanity is not weak." Sam met her gaze. "Then let us make them feel it again." Together they adjusted the patterns, coordinating the remaining cannons with the charges that still remained. Each volley became sharper, timed with precision. The alien ship responded with fury, but its attacks grew less certain. For every blast that tore through the asteroid field, another explosion struck its hull. The outpost trembled with every exchange, but Sam refused to stop. He shouted commands into the console, his voice filled with determination. "You want us? Then you fight. For every inch!" Lyra watched him, her eyes filled with something he had not seen before. Respect. Hope. "You are one human on one small outpost, and yet you stand against them. This is why I came to your kind. You do not bow." The alien ship drew closer still, its massive shadow looming over the outpost. Sam felt its presence press against him like a weight, yet instead of fear, he felt fire. He slammed his hand against the console, activating the last of the buried charges. A chain of explosions erupted, shaking the massive vessel from below. Its surface cracked again, spilling fragments into the void. The alien ship hesitated. For the first time, it pulled back slightly, adjusting its position as if unsure. Sam leaned forward, his eyes blazing. "That is it. You feel us now." But even as he spoke, the scanners screamed with warning. A new glow spread across the alien hull, brighter and wider than before. This was not a probing strike. It was a weapon meant to end the battle. Lyra's voice grew urgent. "They are preparing a final shot. If it lands, this station will be gone." Sam's mind raced. The outpost was damaged. Half the cannons were gone. The charges were nearly spent, yet he could not accept defeat. "Then we strike first," he said firmly. Lyra stepped closer, her hand on his shoulder. "You cannot stop that blast, but you can make them believe you still can. That is your strength. Show them your courage, and they may doubt themselves." Sam stared at her, then nodded. He pushed the systems to full power, even as sparks flew across the room. The remaining cannons fired together, their bolts crashing against the enemy hull. The outpost shuddered with the strain, but Sam kept the weapons burning. The alien vessel wavered, its glow pulsing unevenly. It was ready to fire, yet something made it pause. Sam slammed another command. The station's communication array lit up, blasting a false signal across space, as if calling for a massive fleet nearby. Lyra smiled faintly. "You are bluffing." Sam's voice was steel. "Sometimes a bluff saves lives." The alien ship trembled, its glow faltering. Then slowly it pulled back. The scanners showed it drifting away, leaving the asteroid field. Sam exhaled, his body trembling with exhaustion. The outpost was scarred, smoke rising from damaged panels, but it was still standing. Lyra looked at him with quiet pride. "You made them doubt. That is the first victory humanity has ever had against them." Sam leaned back in his chair, his chest heavy with relief. "If they want us again, they will know we fight." For the first time, the silence of the outpost felt different. Not empty, not heavy. It felt alive, filled with the echo of defiance. Humanity had stood, and humanity had endured. The outpost floated in quiet space, but the calm was temporary. The alien vessel had retreated, yet its shadow lingered in the scanners, a constant reminder that it could return at any moment. Sam wiped sweat from his brow and leaned heavily against the console. The station was scarred from the battle, panels burned, sparks flickering across the floor, but it still stood. Lyra moved quietly around the control room. She seemed to float, almost gliding as she checked systems and patched minor damages. Her calm presence contrasted sharply with the chaos outside. Sam watched her closely, wondering what she had left to reveal and why the enemy wanted her so desperately. After a long silence, Lyra finally spoke. Her voice was steady, carrying a weight that made Sam stop what he was doing. "I did not come here to fight," she said. "I came to protect something, something that cannot fall into their hands." Sam straightened. "Something? What is it?" She hesitated, then stepped closer. From her small pack, she pulled a glowing device. It was no larger than a human head, but it pulsed with energy, casting patterns across the walls. Sam felt a strange heat from it, a rhythm that seemed almost alive. "This," she said, "is the path to faster-than-light travel beyond what humanity has achieved. It contains knowledge, maps, and the energy patterns needed to navigate through deep space in ways no one else can. If they take it, they could control entire systems, hunt anyone they want, and humanity would be defenseless." Sam's eyes widened. "You mean this could change everything for us?" "Yes," she replied, her gaze unwavering. "But it must be protected. That is why I came to your station. I knew no one else would fight for it the way your kind would." You have something the others do not: courage, hope, and determination, even when the odds are impossible. Sam felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. This small, fragile outpost now held the key to humanity's future. He looked at the device, glowing softly in Lyra's hands. Then we protect it, no matter what. Lyra nodded. Exactly. But the alien vessel will return. They will not give up. They may have left now, but they are planning their next strike. We must prepare. Sam began checking the defense systems again. The cannons were damaged but still functional, and some of the hidden charges in the asteroid field were ready to fire. He and Lyra worked together, coordinating every detail. She guided him through ways to mask the energy signature of the outpost and the device, making them harder to detect. Hours passed. The tension in the station grew. Every ping of the sensors made Sam flinch, expecting the alien vessel to appear. Lyra stayed close, her presence steadying him, though he could see the worry behind her calm eyes. Finally, the alarm sounded again. The scanners showed movement at the edge of the system. The alien ship had returned. This time, it moved faster, more deliberately, clearly aware of the outpost's defenses. Its surface shimmered like liquid metal, reflecting the stars as it advanced. They are coming for the device, Lyra said quietly, and they will not stop until they have it. Sam took a deep breath. Then we fight again, not for ourselves but for humanity. The station trembled as the first wave of energy struck. Sparks flew across the control room. Panels went dark, then back online as Sam and Lyra quickly patched the systems. The alien vessel was testing them, striking and observing how the defenses reacted. Sam activated the remaining cannons. Bolts of plasma raced through space, striking the enemy ship. Small explosions erupted across its hull, but it continued forward undeterred. "They are stronger than we expected," Sam said, his voice tight. "They are," Lyra agreed. "But we can slow them. If we make them believe the device is more dangerous than it is, we can buy time." Sam nodded. "Then we make them hesitate." He fired a sequence of automated volleys targeting weak points in the asteroid field to create the illusion of hidden defenses. Lyra guided the energy fields around the device, masking it with layers of interference. The alien vessel slowed slightly, its movement becoming cautious. Sam felt a surge of hope. "They are hesitating," he said. "It's working." Lyra smiled faintly. "Good, but we cannot stop now. They will test us again." The alien vessel unleashed a concentrated energy blast. The outpost shook violently. Sam gripped the console, shouting commands to redirect power to shields and cannons. The station groaned under the pressure, but it did not fall. Lyra moved quickly to the device, adjusting its energy fields to absorb stray blasts. "We must protect it at all costs," she said. "Even if the station is damaged, the device must survive." Sam nodded. "Then we fight together, no retreat." The battle continued. Each strike of the alien vessel met with counterattacks from the outpost. Plasma bolts streaked through space, explosions lit up the darkness, and energy waves shook the station. Sam and Lyra coordinated every move, combining human ingenuity with her knowledge of alien technology. Hours passed, and the alien ship grew frustrated. Its movements became less precise, its attacks less coordinated. For the first time, Sam realized something. They could win, or at least survive, if they continued to fight with cleverness and determination. Lyra looked at him, her voice calm but filled with urgency. "We have one chance. We must use the hidden charges now, all at once. It will hurt them, perhaps enough to drive them away." Sam nodded. He triggered the sequence. Explosions erupted across the asteroid field, massive blasts sending shards of rock hurtling toward the alien ship. Its hull shuddered, shimmering cracks appearing in multiple places. The ship wavered, then slowly pulled back, retreating from the outpost. Sam sank into his chair, exhausted but triumphant. "They're gone," he whispered. Lyra placed the device carefully on the console. "For now. But they will return. And when they do, humanity must be ready." Sam looked at her, understanding the weight of what had just happened. A single outpost, two determined humans, and a small device had changed the course of events in this corner of space. They had stood against a power far greater than themselves and had survived. Lyra's voice broke the quiet. "You see now why I came here. I could not trust anyone else, but you fought for more than yourself. That is why this device is safe with you, and that is why humanity has hope." Sam nodded slowly. "Then we will protect it. We will prepare. We will fight if they come again." Outside the outpost, the stars seemed to shine a little brighter. For the first time in 4 days, Sam felt that humanity's courage could reach beyond the lonely moon, beyond the outpost, beyond the darkness of space itself. The outpost was quiet now. The alien vessel had retreated beyond the scanner range, leaving only faint ripples in space as a reminder of its presence. Sam leaned back in his chair, exhausted but alert. The station had survived, and the device Lyra carried was safe, at least for now. Lyra moved slowly around the control room, checking systems, her eyes scanning every panel. She seemed less tense than before, though the weight of responsibility was clear in her posture. Sam watched her, realizing that this quiet moment was brief. The enemy could return at any time. "We have won today," Lyra said softly, her voice calm but firm. "But this is only the beginning. They will not forget." Sam nodded. "Then we prepare. We reinforce the outpost, repair the systems, and make sure we are ready if they come again." Lyra looked at him with a faint smile. "You fight not for yourself, but for something greater. That is why I came here. That is why humanity can survive." Sam's gaze drifted to the viewport. The stars stretched endlessly, cold and distant. Yet after all that had happened, they seemed different, alive, waiting, full of possibilities. He realized that the battle had changed him. He was no longer just the keeper of a lonely outpost. He was part of a story larger than himself. The days passed slowly as they repaired the station. Panels were replaced, energy conduits rerouted, and the damaged cannons were reinforced as best they could. Sam worked tirelessly, guided by Lyra's knowledge of advanced systems. Together they made the outpost stronger than it had ever been. During this time, Lyra shared more of what she knew. She spoke of distant star systems, of alien civilizations that moved across galaxies like shadows, and of technologies that human minds had barely begun to understand. Sam listened intently, realizing that this small outpost had become a hub of knowledge that could change humanity forever. Yet even with the learning and repairing, the threat outside never disappeared. Every scanner ping, every distant signal, made Sam's heart race. But now, he was not afraid. He had seen courage in action, and he had lived it. One evening, as the artificial sun of the outpost dimmed to simulate night, Lyra approached Sam with the device in her hands. Its glow was soft, steady, almost comforting. "This must be moved to a safer location," she said. "Somewhere humanity can study it and prepare. Somewhere no single vessel or station can guard it alone." Sam nodded. "Then we send it beyond this system. I will coordinate with command. They will protect it and learn from it. But we must make sure no one follows us." Lyra's eyes softened. "I trust you. That is why I stayed here. And that is why I believe humanity will rise." Sam felt a quiet pride, not just in himself, but in the species he belonged to. Humans were fragile, yes, and small in the vastness of space. But they were clever, courageous, and determined. They would fight when others fled. They would endure when the odds were impossible. The next morning, they prepared the device for transport. Lyra used her knowledge to cloak its signature, making it nearly invisible to any probe or distant scanner. Sam coordinated the outpost's sensors, creating a path that would guide command vessels safely to the device without alerting any enemies. As the final adjustments were made, a small blip appeared on the scanner. Sam tensed, expecting the alien vessel to return. But it was only a distant probe, harmless for now, drifting past the system. Lyra smiled faintly. "A warning. They are still watching, but not yet ready to strike." Sam nodded. "Then we use, this time wisely. Humanity will be ready when they come." With everything prepared, Sam initiated the transport sequence. The device lifted from the console, glowing softly, and moved into a secure shuttle bay. Lyra and Sam monitored every parameter, making sure the journey would be smooth and undetected. Finally, the shuttle doors closed. Sam exhaled, feeling a weight lift from his shoulders. "It is safe," he said. Lyra turned to him. "For now. But remember, this is only the beginning. The universe is vast and danger is always near. What matters is that humans will meet it with courage." Sam looked at her, understanding the truth of her words. Courage was not just the act of fighting, it was the determination to protect what mattered, to endure, to stand even when the odds were impossible. That was humanity's greatest strength. Outside, the viewport, the stars continued their endless journey. The alien vessel had vanished for now, leaving only the quiet rhythm of space. Yet Sam knew it would return someday. And when it did, humanity would not bow. Together, Sam and Lyra watched as the shuttle carrying the device disappeared into the void. The outpost was quiet again, but it was no longer just a lonely station. It was a symbol, a testament to what humans could achieve when they chose courage over fear. Lyra placed a hand on Sam's shoulder. "You have changed this corner of the universe," she said. "You and your people have shown that even in the darkness, light can endure." Sam nodded. "Then we keep the light alive. We fight, we protect, and we rise, no matter what comes next." As the artificial sun rose again over the outpost, casting long shadows across the station, Sam realized something profound. Humanity was small, fragile, and often overlooked. Yet in the vastness of space, they had something no one else did: courage, hope, and the will to survive. And as long as humans carried that with them, no darkness, no shadow, and no enemy could ever fully extinguish them. The stars glimmered with promise. Humanity had endured. Humanity had risen. And humanity would continue to shine.